Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In the previous video we started designing a typewriting effect for our website, and this is our progress as of now. We have designed all the elements. Now in this video we will add the typewriting effect. So here we can see this animation over here. We're going to add this animation in this video, and we'll also add some JavaScript to switch to different text over here. We can see we have 3 text displayed over here with the typewriting animation, and we're going to switch between those text using JavaScript. So if you haven't watched the previous video, you can watch it. I will leave the link in the description of this video. So let's get started. Now this is the code that we wrote in the previous video. So let's go to the style.css file. And the first thing we will do is we'll create a before selector for the paragraph. Now before and after selectors are used to add extra information to the elements. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a rectangle over this text. So let's type typewriter effect p : before, and in the before selector you need to have the content property. So let's type content, and here if you type something, for example 123, we can see that 123 is added before this element. Now we don't want to add any text, so I'll just delete this, but we need to keep this content property. Alright, now the next thing we will do is we'll create a rectangle over this text. So for that we will set the position to absolute. Now this before selector will be positioned relative to the parent, which is the p tag. So let's set the left position to 0 and the right position to 0 so that it will fill the whole space. And we'll also set the height to 100%. And let's add a background color and let's see whether it is being added. So now we can see we have a rectangle covering the text. Now what we're going to do for the typewriting animation is that we're going to reduce the width of this rectangle, and then the text will be revealed. So for that we need to set the background color of this before selector the same as the background color of the page. So we can see for the page we have a white background color, so I'll just type the white color over here, and now we can see that the text is not being displayed. Now the next thing we will do is we'll create an animation. So let's create an animation. I'll just type add keyframes. And for the animation name I'll just type typeanim, and let's create the animation over here. Now for the animation at 0% we will have the left set to 0, and at 60% we will have the left position set to 100%, and then we will leave the left position to 100% till the 100th frame. So I'll just type left 100%. Alright, now let's add this animation over here in the before selector. So I'll just type animation. And for the animation we have named it typeanim, and we will have it for 2 seconds, and we'll also set it to alternate so that it will go back to the first frame. Right now let's save this, and now we can see we have this animation where we have the text revealed over here. Let's save this once more, and we can see we have this animation. Now here for the animation timing function I'll just add steps, and we will specify how many steps should be for this animation. So let's go back to our index.html file, and here we can see the third text is active, and let's count how many characters are here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. So we have 12 characters. Let's go back over here, and in the steps I'll just type 12, and now let's save this. And now we can see we have the step animation, and it looks like it is being typed. Let's view it once more. Alright, that's the typing animation for the third text. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this line of code from here, and we're going to add it to the third text. So let's cut this from here, and let's type typewriter effect p dot, and it is called text3. Here we can see in the HTML we have given it a class of text3. So let's go back and let's paste it over here. And here we also need to add before, because we are adding this to the before selector. And now we can see we have this animation for the text. Now we need to have different steps for each of the text based on the number of characters. So I'll just copy this and paste it down here 2 more times. So let's type text1 and text2 over here. And let's count the number of characters. Let's go to the index.html file, And for text 1 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 characters. So let's go back and let's type 8 over here. And for the second text we have 13 characters, so I'll just type 13 over here. Alright, now let's save this and let's go back to our index.html file and let's remove this active class from here and let's add it to the first text. And now we can see we have the typing effect for the first text and we have added the correct number of steps, so that's why we have the correct animation. Alright, now the next thing we will do is we will switch between different text using JavaScript. So if you go back to our index.html file, we can see that we have already linked our JavaScript file over here. And we need to access some of these elements from the HTML to our JavaScript. So we need to reference all these 3 paragraphs from here. So let's go to our main.js file and let's type const text all, because we're going to select all the text. You can name this anything you want. I'll just set it to equals document dot query selector all, and here we need to add the class, so it is inside typewriter effect, and in that we have this p tag. So let's type typewriter effect p. Right now all the paragraphs are stored inside this text all constant. Now the next thing we will do is we'll create a set interval. So I'll just type set interval. Now using set interval you can execute some code at set intervals of time. So here we need to have 2 arguments. The first one is an arrow function. The second argument is the time, so I'll just set it to 4 seconds. So I'll just type 4000 because 4000 milliseconds is 4 seconds. Now what we will do is we'll create a variable over here called text number and we'll set it to 1 by default. And here we'll type text all and we'll select the text that is inside this text number. So I'll just type text number over here and we will add a class of active. So I'll just type class list dot add and I'll just type active over here. And then we need to increment the text number, so I'll just type text number plus plus. So this will increment it by 1. Now here we also need to check whether the text number exceeds the number of text that we have inside this text all constant. So right now we have 3 text, so this text number should not go beyond 3. So here we will add an if condition. So I'll just type if text number is greater than text all dot length minus 1. Now we need to add minus 1 over here because text all is an array and it starts from 0. Right now here we need to type text number and we need to set it to 0. So when the text number goes beyond 3, it will be set back to 0. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to remove this active class after adding it. So here we'll create a function called remove text classes. So just type remove text classes and we'll create this function over here. So I'll just type const remove text classes and let's create an arrow function. And in this function we will just loop through all the text. So I'll just type text all dot for each, and for each of the text we will call it t, and let's create an arrow function over here. And in this function we will just remove the class. So I'll just type t dot class list dot remove and active. So what we are doing over here is that we are executing this code at every 4 seconds of interval. So this code will start after 4 seconds. Now before that we need to display the first text. So I'll just type text all and here I'll just type 0 for the first text, and let's type class list dot add and here I'll just type active. Right now let's go to our index.html file and I'll just remove this active class from here, and let's go back to our JavaScript file and let's save this. And we can see that the first text is displayed over here, but we don't have the other text displayed over here. So for that we need to go to the style.css file and here we need to add infinite, because right now the animation is running for just 1 time. So here we'll just type infinite and I'll just copy this and paste it down here, and even for the third text. And let's refresh this and we can see we have the animation and we have all the text displayed over here one by one. So we can say that everything is working alright. Now the last thing we need to add is the cursor that we have in the original animation. We can see we have this cursor, so we need to add the animation for that as well. So let's go back over here and we will add an after selector for that. So let's type typewriter effect p : after, and for this we will type content and we'll just set it to blank, and we'll set the top position to 0 and the left position to 0, and we will set a height of 110%, and we'll set a background color of black, and we'll set the width to 2 pixels, and we'll also set the position to absolute. And now let's add an animation for this. So let's create an animation and let's type keyframes, and we'll name it cursor animation, or let's name it blink animation. So I'll just have blink anim, and here we just have a frame for 100%, and I'll just set the opacity to 0. Now we need to add 2 animation for the after selector. So we need to add the blink animation and also this type anim animation. So for that, let's type typewriter effect, and here let's type p.text1 : after, and here we'll just type animation, and I'll just copy this animation and paste it down here, and let's type comma, and let's add our new animation, which is blink anim, and we will have it for 1 second or 1000 milliseconds, and we will have it for linear, and we'll set it for infinite. And now we can see we have this cursor animation for the first text. We will do the same for all the other text, so I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it down here, and let's change the steps to 13 because we have 13 characters in the second text, and I'll just change this to text 2, and let's copy the same thing over here, and we just need to change the steps to 12 because we have 12 characters in the third text, and I'll just change this to text 3. And now let's save this and let's refresh this page, and we can see we have the animation for all the text, and each text is displayed over here one after the other, and even the blink animation is working alright. So that's basically how you add a typewriting effect for your website using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now I will leave the link of the source code in the description of this video, so you can just download it and use it in your websites. And if you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below, and if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.